Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy New Year, folks.
Woo! Where's that thing? Where's that thing?
Back here. We are back in the studio. It is 2020. Sophia, I was thinking about something. We are moving into our third decade as friends.
Yeah, that sounds
like a lot.
I almost said a cuss word. I wanted to see if I wouldn't curse. And I was about to say, that is effing crazy.
You're not cursing today?
Listen.
Commit to it. Let's see.
You know, once I put the C on it, then I'm going to be in my head. So I don't know. I'm going to try. That's what I'm saying. But 3 decades, that's bugged out. Even I'm had conversations about, I remember being younger and people saying they're going to their 20-year high school reunion and stuff like that. I used to be like, wow, you're pretty old.
That's us next year.
Yeah.
Well, this year.
This year. So I'm not on Facebook besides with us, and I hear that's how they've been doing the planning and stuff like that. So I miss when they did a 10-year because just not being on Facebook.
So we're gonna have to join your high school's group.
Yeah.
We joined mine. So
yes,
just so I can see.
Exactly. I see stuff from Albany High all the time, and I'm like, hey, people. So yeah, it's bugged. I read a post a few days ago that said, you have lived almost 4 decades. You have watched 2 presidents impeached, and it was just given a list.
Yes.
And it said, don't ever let anybody tell you haven't been through. Shh. And I was like, ooh, 4 decades?
I read that too.
I thought it was pretty cool. Yo, I cannot believe, like, I wrote 2020 yesterday, and I didn't think that I would be writing it until I was back in the office, but I can't even remember. Oh, I was submitting something, and I put 2020, and it was like, I just stared at it.
So Cheryl Lee Ralph posted something yesterday, and I didn't understand what she was saying until today. She said that when you write your dates, you need to write 2020. So you know how usually we do like 1/4/19.
Mm-hmm.
You need to write 2020 because someone could very easily change that to 2019, 2018, backdate some shit, whatever the case is. So
nice.
you wanna write 2020 fully out.
You know what came to mind this morning? You know how we be driving in and doing some praise and worship? This what came to me. This a new season.
Oh, this a new day.
It's a new day. I was like, oh, a fresh anointing is already here.
Okay.
On my way,
Okay.
But still, that's what I felt.
All right.
Like.
Okay, I accept it. I accept it. I receive it.
And guess what else? What else, Shug?
What?
Come on.
I don't know.
It's my birthday season.
Oh, gosh,
Come on,
yes.
hit the button for me. Capricorn season. Woo!
Yes.
I felt like you made that short. You made it short. See, I almost said a cuss word. It's something wrong with the way my brain is wired. Like, it just has to say it. But, yo, it's Capricorn season.
Yeah.
We end the year. We begin the year. That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the middle, but we end and begin it. It's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
So 16 more days and counting. My friend Keisha, happy birthday, Keisha.
Happy birthday, Keisha.
It'd be like, happy birthday, Keisha, but guess what? 17 more days. Like, happy birthday to you, but it's really bad. So a birthday is a new year for me also.
Good.
So it gets me really hyped. So how was your holiday?
My holiday was good. When I was getting in the car this morning, I was thinking like, yo, this is weird. I wish that we weren't going back until Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's stupid.
It's just really, really weird. But somebody had posted something to my Instagram. I saw something yesterday. And so this coming year, 2020, we got Valentine's Day on a Friday, Cinco de Mayo, Taco Tuesday, 4th of July is on a Saturday, Halloween's on a Saturday, Christmas is on a Friday.
Oh, wow.
And then New Year's Day starts a 3-day weekend. So this year we should look forward to just keeping it lit.
Because this is a leap year.
This is a leap year.
Yes.
So
I'm
this is
excited
why.
about that. I'm excited that Halloween is on a Saturday. Usually the only time my family have all been able to get together and we dress up, you know, pretty uniform is when it's been on a weekend and not a school day rushing trying to do something.
Yeah.
So I am most excited about
Yeah.
about that Saturday Halloween.
Yeah.
That sounds
So
dope.
so the holiday was good, but I wish that we could use these 2 days. But it's all good. Let's get this popping. What you got for us today, Soph?
So it's funny we're back just a day after the new year, and today is about this whole new year, new me thing. And I kind of want to, you know, one of my favorite words is debunk that.
But
I want to let go of new year, new me. That is today's title. Letting go of new year, new me.
So somebody was like, "Listen, I'm not for the shit. Don't post. I don't want to see any of that new year, new me." And so then someone posted late yesterday, like, "Y'all doing good. I haven't seen any new year, new me."
Yes,
good.
yes.
Good job.
I think I saw two, and it's the classic one with the lady walking up the stairs, and it's the years behind.
Oh, and dropping all the baggage and stuff.
Exactly. So I caught a few of those, but I didn't see the flood of new year, new me. However, what I'm seeing is people are posting a picture and it's in the caption. So it's still there. Let me read to you. And I didn't realize that I had issues with Urban Dictionary. I didn't.
Well, you're just having.
I mean,
issues
I am.
with
I
Urban
am,
Dictionary.
and I feel some type of way about them. But let me read what their definition was for New Year. So this does not count as my curse, okay? New year, new me. Something that holds, say, every single new year, only for them to continue being the same bitches they were the year before. And then it has an example. Listen to this example. Hoochie says, "New year, new me." I gotta put a sound to it.
What?
Hoochie, new year, new me. Bitch, you still gonna be the same cocksucking hoe you were. Shut the fuck up. This is from Urban.
Urban Dictionary is sexually biased though, because everything is geared towards female. It's a dude who runs Urban Dictionary.
Yo, I said, what? Like, this is okay. So as much as the language is a little ridiculous, this is the truth. This is the truth. This whole new year, new me fiasco is, I'm not saying hoe, but you saying the same, oh yeah, and I'll do this. You know what I saw yesterday?
What?
It said, all right, y'all, 220, I done fucked up already. 221, oh, I'm at it. It's going to be a good year for me. One day, they done threw out their whole thing already. But it is that. Like, why does it have to be new year, new me?
Because it feels like a fresh start. It's just like everybody starts their diets on Monday. Every Monday, somebody restarting their damn diet. So it's like, it just feels like an ultimate time to start over, to begin again, to renew, to refresh. It's almost like the beginning of the school year. Mm-hmm. Same thing. You know, once kids see, oh shit, I messed up, and it's March.
Yeah.
Well, shit, ain't no getting back from it now. Next year I'm gonna do much, much better. So I think it's just a thing about the mind in beginnings.
But see, listen to that, right? It's the mind.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, why can't we create in the mind every day is a new beginning? When you wake up, even if you don't hear the birds chirping, the sun is rising. There is a new temperature. There's something new then.
Because today is too close to yesterday, which was a shitty day.
Okay. Yep. All right. That's very good. I still offer that we shift the mindset of waiting. You know how much time we rob ourselves of, damn, February was fucked up, so now I'm waiting 10 whole months to start anew? Like,
yes.
That is torture to me, that I'm spending the rest of that time thinking about, I just said fucked up too. It's over.
I didn't hear it.
Because you're so fucked up with the way you curse so much, you can't even hear it, right?
I don't. Mm-mm.
But it's torture that I'm spending so much time reliving what I have done wrong, or the relationship that ended, or how things didn't work out at this job, that I'm waiting for the new start, opposed to empowering myself to say, fuck this, my new start is going to be, so say Tuesday was too shitty and it's like, I'm still reliving it. Allow yourself to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
How about Friday? How about Friday is the new start? We don't have to wait until January 1st.
Because we are horribly trained. And so so today's the 2nd, right? So
yes.
yesterday was the last day of Kwanzaa, right? But thinking about
what was that? Purpose, right? Nia?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or was it Imani? Bad girl. Anyway,
right?
in thinking about it as the European worldview versus the Afrocentric worldview, and the European worldview has trained us to be so focused on time.
Yes.
Like time is a big deal. And to a certain degree, you have to respect time, right?
Yeah.
But we're so, even when you said Friday, the first thing that came to my mind was, no, not Friday. Friday's the fucking end.
Right.
Right. And you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, no, right. I'm not doing that on Friday.
Yeah.
Yesterday was
Monday, like you said. The diet is starting Monday. Everything got to start at the beginning.
Exactly.
According to who? That's where it's
a messed up. It's a messed up concept of. I guess we just been trained for it to be this way.
And that's the part of when we talk about, okay, this new me kind of era, let's move forward of creating a newness that fits you. Like you said, you have this kind of European style that's saying it has to look this way. The new side of me can say, I can have more power. We live in a society where power is big, and the last thing you ever want to feel like is someone is controlling you, and we don't even realize how much between media and stuff like that has control over us. Mm-hmm. Where it's even Monday is daunting,
right?
But yet that's the day we start in the diet. But that's the day that we dread. Pick the day that feels good for you. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be this cyclic kind of thing. What feels good to you? Really just being in tune with yourself to say oh, okay, cool. You guys are doing Monday, but Wednesday just moves me.
So I think that's the problem, though. In all of this, the problem is that people don't know how to go with how they feel. Yeah. It's just like, and me and my dichotomous self, if I send out an invitation, I really want people to RSVP. I need people to RSVP.
Which is weird, because you just RSVP to my party
but
the
other
other day,
thing.
and you had it for 2 weeks.
And I'm great example, because it's the example I'm going to use. So for me, I really need people to RSVP. I don't care when you RSVP, but I need you to RSVP. It fucks with me and my structure if you don't RSVP. I get angry to see people walk through the door who didn't RSVP. I am not happy to see you if you did not RSVP. So that is that. However, and on the flip side, when I get an invitation, I have to sit and wait. I cannot immediately press yes.
What?
I can't immediately press yes because I have to.
What is that about?
Because I have to have some inkling of how I'm feeling.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Because I don't like to cancel.
Okay. Okay.
And so I don't want to commit and say yes, and then later I'm feeling like I don't want to, and then and then I'm in my mind because I don't want to cancel, and I don't want to I don't want to be the person who RSVPs and then don't show up because you're on the shit list too. So I have to wait to see.
Yeah.
Am I gonna be feeling this? Am I gonna feel like it? Type of thing. And so, but a lot of people they don't allow themselves to determine what do I feel like
exactly.
right now?
And that is actually like a key like paradigm that we all should be embracing is honoring yourself, right? So I recently was reading something, and it was talking about just being comfortable with a firm no and a sincere yes. And that is the hardest thing for people. So I don't have an issue with the new year, new me thing. The issue that comes to mind sometime is what the focus is, like, oh, it's just, I want to lose 30 pounds or, just really, and we'll talk about like just how grand the things are.
Absolutely.
Which is how people typically crash. And by the 15th, it's like, fuck it, I'm going to McDonald's. It's over, instead of kind of looking at maybe some smaller changes.
Absolutely.
With things like that. So one of the things was that whole sincere yes and a firm no. And I had to sit with that because I'm like, oh yeah, I do that. And it was like, no. My no's, I give a justification for. That's not a firm no. So I'm saying, no, I can't lend you this money, for example, because I have 2 mortgages and I have a child who's in this prep school and, tuition is due, and I'm giving all of this instead of saying, no, I'm sorry, I can't right now. That's a firm no. A sincere yes could look like not being impulsive and making the choice by obligation. Like, oh, this is my friend for almost 3 decades, so I have to go to her birthday party. I'm going to allow myself to 24 hours. Like, she didn't respond for almost 2 weeks, but I'm offering you guys to maybe give yourself whatever time frame that may look like, 24 hours to 72 hours to sit with, do I want to vibe with who she may have there, or do I want to party anyway? And then respond, and then it may be more likely that your yes may really be sincere instead of obligation. Well, you came to my party, you came to my 30th, and we were out the country. I have a problem with that also. That as much as I'll say like, no, I do it because I want to, at the end of the day, sometimes I have said yes to things because it's like, oh, damn,
I need to return this. Yes. I need to reciprocate.
They left their job to get to my kid's first birthday on time. And it's this whole, like, I feel like I owe you now. And I'm like, those are kind of maybe smaller things that, we can embrace, opposed to, like I said, these grand things. How are you showing up in relationships? Are you just saying yes just because, and the day come and now you have to cancel and you feel bad about canceling, so you go anyway and you're an asshole there?
Yeah. So I've gotten past that. That used to be me some years ago, and I stopped that. But the one of the hard parts about that was that I had to explain to people my rationale for even getting to the point where I have to cancel because I know I don't feel like it. And it's like, I don't want to come there and not be a good vibe knowing I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
And that was still hard for some people to accept.
Yeah.
I was just thinking as you were talking yesterday. Well, yesterday was New Year's Day, so New Year's Eve. So New Year's Eve, I told my friend, she asked me if I would take a ride with her, like, hour up to Pennsylvania, and I'm like, oh yeah. I'll walking out the door at 1 a.m. Yeah. I'll go. We could do like breakfast or something. Yeah. Next day, yesterday, I get the text message. I'm laying in the bed and it's like, you going? I'm like, I said yes very, 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 very quickly yesterday. And when I tell you I struggled because I'm in my mind and I'm like, I didn't feel, I wanted to, but I didn't feel like it. I didn't want to go and feel like I needed to like feel tense to get back home. And it took me like 30 minutes to say, I'm gonna set this one out.
Yeah.
And then I still felt
yeah.
I felt bad. I felt like I wasn't a woman of my word. I didn't feel bad because she wasn't going alone. If she didn't have other people going with her, I would have went.
In spite of what you felt.
I know I would have. I know I would have. If she was going by herself, I would have been like, all right, I'm going.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I put that in just that friend category. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know.
And don't get me wrong. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So, you know, but I went through a whole process of it, a whole process, but all was well. Nothing, it was no, I'm mad. It was no, anything, and the day went on, but it took me a long time to get in there to say no.
And don't get me wrong, in relationships, there will be sacrifices. So to think that there isn't going to be any time where you do something for someone and you really don't feel like it, you know, that will happen. But there is a piece of saying no, you know, and that goes back to kind of being engulfed in society and how it should be, where it's like, I have to keep my word.
Yeah.
Your word is all you have. Your word is your bond. I could go on and on and on about something about your word, right? The trick is, talking about new you, new me, how about start keeping the word to you? Because it is this big obligation to keep my word to you, but what happens to me? I neglect me. Because the word to me is, oh, I'm going to be gentle to me, and I'm going to be kind, and all of this self-care stuff. But yet I put my body physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally at risk of doing something that I don't want to. So why do I get to break the word to me? And how does that not look selfish to others?
It may. You can't control what it looks like
true.
to other people.
And you know, true healing says it's not your responsibility to worry about others. It gets tricky.
It's not your responsibility to try to manipulate other people's perceptions, because you'll never be able to.
Or take on even how they respond to what you come up with.
Exactly.
That's not my responsibility.
Exactly. So even years ago, and I think we had mentioned this in a previous episode, years ago, when we said we weren't doing New Year's resolutions anymore because people still stuck old shit on us.
Yeah.
And so even when you feel like you're doing good, other people's perceptions may not match that.
Yes.
But in all reality, it does not matter if other people's perceptions match it or not.
But that's where it gets tricky, right? Because here it's like, this is my friend. This is somebody who I've been connected to for so many years. And now I'm shifting and
They can't see it, or they...
So not even that they can't see it, that's not what they're used to. So that's difficult for them to handle that. And so let's even say in therapy, I tell people all the time, like, oh, people saying I'm acting funny now. And I'm like, remember, you're in this process. So you're in a process, but 7 other people around you are not. So you're having these epiphanies, you're seeing life differently, and you're challenging yourself, but they're not. So remember, they are expecting who you were to always showing up in that way. And something different almost is like, who's the stranger? Who is this person upon me?
Right.
You know, so being mindful that your change, everyone isn't going to be, it's going to take them some time. Let me say that. It may take them some time. But my question is, how much is too much time? So say we've been friends for you know, damn near, like, here we are 20 years, and I'm saying that I'm in a space where I have to put me first. I have to put me first, and that may look different in our relationship. So times before, I would drop what I'm doing to come and attend to you. I may not be able to do that because whatever space that I'm in, and I'm sharing this with you, and you say, okay, until you're in a space where you need me, and I can't be there. And it's like, okay, that caused some breakdown, it caused some disruption, but I'm saying to myself, it's going to take time because I've been this way for 20 years. But now here we are, years in, and you still seem to have difficulty in my shift or my growth. What do I do with that?
Shit, years. You said years, multiple.
Yeah.
Right.
So now we 3 years in, and you still seem to either throw in my face what you've done for me and feel like now I'm not there for you. And
well, the natural laws of attraction would go against that. And if I'm growing and you're not, naturally I'm going to be growing away from you.
Yeah.
And so, and not necessarily that the other individual has to be growing themselves, but if you're not accepting my growth, then that means
because that's
I'm
a level
growing,
of growth. Me accepting your growth is a level of growth.
Exactly. I'm growing away from you. Think about it. Like, and this could be a whole damn episode in itself. Somebody who decides to leave the streets alone, right?
Yeah. They
decide to leave the streets alone, and all of the people who they were connected to in the streets, they're going to have to accept it. But what's probably going to happen is that person is going to grow away from everybody in the street.
Yeah. So when you talk about new year, new me, one of the things that you may have to embrace is that relationships will look different.
Yeah.
Accept it. That is a principle that we forget. Like acceptance. I have to accept what it is. That's hard.
It is hard. It's hard, especially when you're in the space of change.
Yeah, because you're going through so much. It's almost like hormones with adolescence. It's like, oh my God, up, down, all over the place. And you're still trying to do well in school and be truthful and, all of these things. That's what growth feels like. You're all over the place and you're still trying to say, oh my gosh, I'm accepting the fact that this relationship looks different now. I'm accepting the fact that I'm attached to different people now. Like all of that is happening at once can be overwhelming.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
But it is a level of acceptance. Acceptance, people are going to be who they are. Acceptance also doesn't equal tolerate.
Acceptance, what just came to my mind, a hard part about that is commentary. Because other people's commentary can make you almost question the shift.
Yes.
And
especially
go back.
Core people at
exactly.
that. Yes.
And kind of like go back on your word. It's just like, okay, if we say we're going to stop cussing. No. We're going to cuss less.
Yes.
Right? And so, you're noticing that you're cussing less when we record. I'm noticing that I'm cussing less when I am confronting the post office about my shit, right? and so, we could be talking about it, and I'm like, no, so if you're not cussing less, because when we was talking yesterday in the car, you was going off, and you said fuck about 13 times in 2 minutes.
Yes.
And then you start thinking in your mind, well, shit, am I cutting back?
And then now it's like, fuck it.
I'm not. And then you're at the wooden table and you're like, good fucking morning.
Exactly.
And didn't even wait 10 seconds.
Exactly. And sometimes people will deem that like, that's a toxic person. Like, I don't need that person. What happens is that's what they know.
Yeah.
And that's a part of the acceptance that's what we did. That's who we were. So is it that they are toxic? No, it's in your face. Everything that is brought to you is just an opportunity for you to continue to work on it. It's not always brought up for you to be like, oh, this person. No. It's brought to the surface for me to work on it.
Right.
That's the only reason why I'm noticing it. Because it's something that I need to work on. Even down to discord, arguments. It's like, I can't believe this. It's only January 2nd that I had that argument. Don't worry about that. Don't sweat that. It's been brought up for you to deal with it. If you get into a full blowout with your mother today, don't say, oh my God, this fucking lady. I still need to heal about our discord.
Right.
Just look at it as an opportunity for the growth opposed to getting stuck on the negative piece. The negative piece is this shit still happens in 2020. The flip side to that is thank you. Thank you, universe, for showing me this. Because it's clear that I still need to work on this to change relationships I have with other women, my daughter, men, anyone. Thank you. You see, new year, new me. You get to choose to look at things from a different perspective. There's one aspect that's so disempowering. A breakup happened. Why me? What's wrong with me? I'm never gonna find love. Why did he do this to me? The more empowering questions can be, what was I supposed to get out of this?
Yeah. What's the lesson?
What's the lesson?
That's my big thing.
What
What's
do I
the
get
lesson?
to learn about me in this for my next chapter? Like, totally different. It feels different when you asking them. You feel like the victim on the other side. Like, oh my gosh, why? And then the other side is, it's just a boss up kind of thing.
Right.
Like, because at the end of the day, you still got to follow you.
Right.
You still got to be with you. Homeboy done left, girl, whoever the relationship was with is gone. So now you still got to be with you. And if you don't use that as an opportunity to learn something about you, it's going to show up in another one. Even when we did our one, the psyche behind the psyche of a cheater, it was so amazing that we had feedback from some of our listeners that it was just like, you know, what kind of role you think that I should be taking about somebody cheating? And it's like, you know, I'm gonna spend just a quick second just on that again, because it's not about your role with the cheating. It's about your role in the experience.
Right.
Everything that's brought to you has been manifested from something within you.
Right.
It's not you caused him to cheat or whatever, but this is an opportunity to deal with something within you about it. He just was the prop.
Get the prop.
He just was the prop for your healing, for your growth. He just had a name. Y'all had some longevity. He had an identity, but he was the prop for you. So when we talk about this new me, it gets to be an opportunity for everything. The male person, you know, the person in Chick-fil-A, the relationship, your parent, it's all props for you to just be able to look at you.
Right.
And if we shift that, that's the more power we get to have, opposed to giving so much. We don't even realize, like fucking puppets. Everywhere we go throughout the day, we saying that someone did something to us. Like,
right.
And we wonder why we feel so exhausted and tossing and turning all night, because I've been victimized all fucking day.
Yeah.
Opposed to, oh, bet that coworker got you. You really just was the trigger for me to realize some shit that I still have with my sister. Thank you. Got it. You know, like that just kind of, I get to take control over my experiences.
And part of taking control over your experiences is understanding that everything does not warrant an immediate reaction.
Absolutely.
Or response. And that goes back to, you know, slowing down. That goes back to managing and really understanding what it is that you're feeling, so that you can almost respond in the best way as you continue in this journey.
And that's so big about acceptance, right? Acceptance has a piece about inaction. Certain things don't even need a reaction.
Absolutely.
So like to you know, continue with what you said, slow it down. But even within the slow down, you may realize I don't even need to respond.
Exactly.
That's acceptance, because people say, oh, I accept it, but you keep calling.
Yeah.
I accept what it is. What you calling for then? If you accept that that's the matter, why are you calling, leaving another message, writing a letter on the DM? Why? That's not acceptance. Acceptance means I get to take my hands off of it.
Right.
It is what it is.
No matter what what kind of feedback you're getting. And so I was talking to somebody, and they had put their foot down about something. Put their foot down. They made a decision. Another person involved was making all of these fucked up comments to make this person second guess the decision that they made.
Yeah.
And so the person says, well, I just want to know ... And I said, would knowing that change your decision?
Exactly.
No. So what's the purpose in asking?
Yep.
What's the purpose in asking? You've already made your decision. That's your decision. And if later, if tomorrow, if next year, you say that wasn't the best decision, that's absolutely fine.
Change it tomorrow.
It's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But right now, you don't even need to have that conversation.
Exactly. Inaction or non-action is required with acceptance. So stop saying the word, oh, I accept that, but then still feeling like you got to do something.
Right.
And so please be clear, right? That even though there's an inaction or a non-action piece to it, doesn't mean you won't feel something. Please be clear about that. You may have a range of feelings.
Of emotions.
And you get to accept that. You get to sit with that and acknowledge it, but still stand with what you're saying.
Right.
So, yeah. I just feel like, again, I don't have an issue with new year, new me, but you're shifting it into another place opposed to, what's the word? Like things that maybe it's not even meaningful to you. So say, for example, right? You saying, or someone saying, I want to lose weight, right? Is that the core of what you really want to shift? So I want to lose weight. And it's kind of like, oh, so tell me more about that, right? People don't typically ask that. Like, oh, okay. It's just like, all right. But if you say, tell me more about that. And then it's like, I don't like the way I look. Okay, tell me a little bit more about that. I just don't feel secure in myself and my clothes. And it goes a little deeper and a little deeper. And before you know it, we're not even fucking talking about weight anymore.
Right.
So it's like, here's this goal that's really not attached to you. Like, it's just the one that looks more acceptable.
And so I think that goes along with this in Psych 101, Professor. And I don't think a lot of people grow out of this need for immediate gratification. Yeah. So even in saying new year, new me, it gives off that because this is the new year, I'm immediately going to be a new person. Yeah. And that is where a lot of people fail because that ain't going to happen. Exactly. Right? And so, having that, and just like with the whole weight thing, it's the same thing. I want to lose the weight because I think that if I do that, it's gonna immediately fix everything that's below it or that has built it up to that.
Yes, and so how we have so many people doing, I fuck up the terms all the time. Bariatric. Yeah. Bariatric, all these different kind of surgeries, right? And it's like, oh my gosh, look at you. You look like a different person. However, the mentality of feeling like an overweight person is still there. The self-esteem stuff is still there. So physically, the world is like, ow.
But you still
feel like shit.
You still holding yourself hostage and stuff like that.
Now,
Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it could be just weight, you know what I'm saying? But at least explore that. What's beneath that? So if it's something beneath that, the new piece, deal with that new piece.
Right.
My level of security, or the way when I look at myself in the mirror, what else am I seeing besides the weight? Because say you dropped the 30 pounds and it's still there. Now what? Now we waiting for 2021 to come up with some new shit? Like, let's just keep peeling and going beneath to see what's beneath that. It's like, oh, I want a house. Amazing. All of these sound amazing.
Right.
But what is that even connected to? What the fuck is that connected to? You keep going deeper.
Not about needing shelter.
Exactly. Because now we going deeper and deeper, and you telling me about some 10-year-old shit. Your mother moved 3 times. Y'all lived in a car for once. Like, that's what is still fucking with you. That you have this need to do something to rewrite the story that took place then. Instead of accepting that what happened at 10 was designed for you to be who you are today. And whatever I choose, you may not even want a house.
Right.
But that equals stability for you because you're
clout or
yeah.
Let
me
some
show
type
you
of rank or whatever,
because someone
accomplishment, a level of accomplishment because everybody else your age is doing it.
Yes, but that's not even the core. That's not even what you want to do. I had this conversation with one of my friends. Maybe it's been probably 2 years now, and she was like, "I just want to be married." And I was like, "Well, is it because of age? And you've been in a few weddings?" And she was like, "No." And an intelligent person and has been doing her own work and ways. Probably like a week later, she called back and was like, "So you asked me what's the real reason why I want to get married?" I don't really have one. I was like, huh? It's like, I don't even fucking think I want to be married. And I'm like, okay. And we got to just have a friendly conversation about that. But it's like some of these resolutions are not even true to you. That's why they're not manifesting, because it's not even true to you. Absolutely. It's not because you're procrastinating and because you're lazy and because of whatever the fuck else you convince yourself. It's not manifesting because it doesn't resonate with you. That's why you can't be this new person, because that's not even what you're seeking.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, if we're going to do the new year, new me, make sure that it really embodies you.
It's a true investment of what you want.
Write a vision, not a vision board. Nothing against vision boards, but that shit gets a little weird just seeing a whole bunch of fucking posty stickies and you still got to put the story together, right? Write the vision. Write the vision, meaning how do you see your highest self? In relationships, I am in a committed relationship where I could be myself and I could laugh and joke and you know, don't feel judged. And that's your highest self. That, you know, and psychology kind of speak it as if kind of thing, right? Right. And it's like you create the vision as if you are there. You may realize that shit had nothing to do with weight, nothing to do with a house, nothing to do with this amount in a bank account. It's just literally the vision you see for yourself at the highest thing. You may be more likely to manifest that than, okay, here's my 5 goals for the year.
Right. And so one of the things that we're not at takeaways. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I suggest,
there's been takeaways throughout though.
Okay. Is not even doing the year thing.
Right.
And so for some people, I prefer quarters myself, because it's just enough time, but not too much time.
Yeah.
For someone else who has multiple, a lot of things going on, 6 months may work better, or maybe 30 days will work better. Yes. It's about what works for you, you know, but saying, I would encourage people to stay away from saying, oh, well, I want to buy a house this year. That's just so vague. That's very, very vague. And what it does is it could set you up for feeling like a failure. Right. Not set you up for failure, but set you up for feeling like a failure, because then couple of different things that could happen is you get to June and you're nowhere near close to buying a house. And so you rush it and buy some bullshit, right?
Just say you did it.
Just to say that you accomplished it. Or you get to July and you're like, I failed.
Yep.
And you have just, instead of saying, you know what? So in the first 6 months of the year, I'm going to research places in which I would like to live that have a school district that match what I want for my children. And from then until June, that is the only thing that you've committed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so just kind of breaking it down so that you don't set yourself up for failure. Same thing with weight. I think weight is the one that the easiest way. Oh, I want to lose 100 pounds. Dude, by March you're gonna forget because you've lost and gained the same 5 pounds for 30 days. You know what I'm saying?
Even like 100 is big, but even when people go as far as like 30, it's like, what makes it difficult to start so small? This week I want to aim for losing 2. Right. Because when you do it that way, and that's what I have read like tons of times before, that when you do it in smaller increments like that, you hit your goal faster, opposed to saying, oh, I'm losing 50 by June. But if you say like, my goal is losing 2 a week, before you know it, it's like, oh shit, I done lost 8 to 10 pounds in a month.
Or even if you say every Sunday, because the diet starts on Monday. Right? Every Sunday, I'm gonna choose if I'm gonna even lose weight that week, because your birthday week, I'm coming to the party, I'm having some wine, having a drink. Then, so we got to get your birthday dinner in. That week, I'm not gonna lose any weight. So I'm gonna go into that week saying, maintain your weight this week, Suge.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so why not?
And then you set yourself up to not even be present.
Right.
You're not even being present. Like you walk in the door like, is that keto wine? Is that keto meals? And it's like, you know, it ain't no goddamn keto meals here. Like, just eat, you know. It forces you to put yourself in a bad place. But those small steps are big. Like, it's nothing wrong with setting large goals for yourself. But what are the small tosses? What are the small steps to get there? That it's like, I'm going to buy a house this year. Great. Good job. Good thing you have a job where you already know the income. Your credit may be where you want. But it's like, what about all the other stuff? Okay, let's make sure that we save $1,000 a month, depending on whatever your income is. Like, it's easier to do the small steps because then you can celebrate.
Right.
you go so big, you waiting. Like, even as a grown up, I can't wait for a long surprise. Like,
right.
Tell me you love me throughout the year.
And that goes right into the sense of immediate gratification. We need to feel our accomplishments to keep us going. You know what I'm saying?
Because we already doubting ourselves anyway.
Exactly.
Because the last time you said you was going to buy it and you didn't.
Absolutely. So if you wait until your child's report card to tell them if they're doing good or bad, right. I'm telling you, you're not feeding that motivation.
Exactly.
And so everybody, no matter what you are, your motivation is fed by recognition of the accomplishment. And it doesn't matter how big or small that accomplishment is.
Meal prep. People who meal prep, I'm like, I don't give a shit if you didn't lose anything. I'm just so impressed that you could do this all day long.
I meal prep last night.
Oh, good for you.
We ate Chinese food, but I did meal prep.
So, you know, here I am. I'm on this like, oh, my birthday is in 16 days. Let's see how this stomach could look. But in all actuality, listen, it's going to be, y'all going to get a sequence jumper regardless. Like, if I lose anything or if I don't. But it's nothing wrong with it. But just doing small things so that you can celebrate. And don't forget to celebrate. Stop waiting for just the big thing to celebrate. If it is like, oh, good job, I meal prepped 3 days out of 5. Whoop, whoop. Yep. You know, like, celebrate those little things and not just, you know, it has to be something so grand. And be realistic. Be realistic with yourself. So if it's like, here it's January, oh, I'm buying a house by April. Even if everything is in order, that may be difficult.
Absolutely.
If everything is in order, that still may be difficult too, because they're going to come back with, oh, nope, need a new tax return. Oh, nope, get the official transcript. Nope, whatever it's going to be, it'll be hard for you to crunch that in that time. So, you know, doing your research, but be kind to you.
Absolutely.
Be kind to you and saying like, I'm not losing 50 pounds unless I start smoking crack by February 1st. And that's not nice.
Absolutely. So I've been doing some reading and trying to get more familiar with mindfulness. Because my mind moves 50 miles an hour. I have like shunned it for a really long time.
Yeah.
And so in the concept of mindfulness, there's talk about speaking intentions. And, you know, people throw it out there like, you need to speak the intentions, but they don't really know what it means.
Exactly.
And so one thing that, for me, I don't repeat shit if I don't really know what it means. And so I just been doing some reading about speaking intentions. And the explanation behind that is, once you speak something out loud, you have already told your mind that's what you want.
Yes.
And so the return is that your mind reminds you of what you want. So if I go into the week and I say, in my mind, I don't say it out loud, oh, I want to lose weight this week. My mind is not reminding me that when I get them 5 munchkins with that coffee.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
As opposed to if I'm, and people are like, oh, don't talk to yourself. We're way beyond that, right? But saying out loud, sitting there in your quiet space and saying, okay, I've meal prepped this, these 5 salads, and this week I'm going to make sure I eat these salads at lunchtime. So when I am driving and it's like stopping at somebody's drive-thru, it's like, no, you spoke already that you were eating your salads. And so it's very powerful. It's extremely powerful. And you would not, until you try it, you might not believe it. But again, if you speak that intention, this is what it's gonna be. You are more likely to follow through on the things that you say you want.
Heck yeah, good stuff. And I'll add to that. So you heard Dr. L just say that the intention is for the mind, but let me tell you this wonderful law of mind and action, right? So it's like you've said it to your mind, but you've also said it to the universe. So it's kind of like a meeting of it. It's kind of like, oh, I got it. So it's going to manifest in my external like landscape kind of thing. It's internal and the external will meet together because I set the intention. The intention is different from the goal because the goal is focused on just something that I want. Right. But the intention is kind of like this desire it's a desired outcome that you are seeking. So it's set up like, it is my intention, and then you almost want like some kind of action or desire that you want there. It is my intention to be present during playing Candyland with my child.
Right,
you know,
right.
that's what I'm going to do. But the key piece to it is, what do I want to experience from
Right,
that?
right.
So it's my intention to be present with my child playing Candyland so that I can experience connection, so that I can experience love and joy. Whatever it is, like, you speaking that is extremely powerful.
And so even in speaking your actions and your intended results,
Right.
is basically what I hear you saying. What's your intended results
Exactly.
of this?
What's my desired
Right.
outcome? It is my intention to meal prep this week so that I can experience fulfillment and execution of, to avoid eating fast food, or,
Right.
what do you want to experience? You speaking what I want,
Right.
opposed to, like I said from earlier, we just acting like shit just keeps happening to us. Oh no, like this just happened. McDonald's just showed up on the corner of my block. Like, damn, like, I get to say what it is. Like, we have so much more power than we move
Than we
into.
know. Than we know.
Yeah. And just from simple as your words.
Yep.
We've been hearing it all life in church, like, your words are powerful. Like, I can't think of no scripture right now, but there's one that's in my mind that it's like, a woman or a wife can build and tear down her house all with her tongue, kind of thing. So churchgoers, don't ridicule me, but that's what it's saying. I always remember the gist of that, because I know I can say like rough things out my mouth, and I have the power to build up my home and also tear it
Right,
down. So we've
right.
heard this in so many different levels,
Right.
and now just kind of applying it in different ways. Like, what you say to you
is very powerful. And so I know a lot of times on previous episodes, we've talked about like writing things down. And so I have gotten to a place in my life where writing things down don't necessarily work for me. Because I can write it down and never look at it again.
Yep.
And once I've written it down, it's out of my mind,
Yeah.
but it never goes back in. But I typically, and I tell people all the time, don't tell me what I said. I know what I said. I never forget what I say, because either I'm going to say something I mean, or I ain't going to say anything at all. Right. And so,
That's unfair for you to say never.
I'm being extreme, but like, my kid always says, well, you said, that's not what I said. It's not what I said. And so for anybody who might have trouble with when you write things down, you don't look at it, or you still forget, or whatever the case is, I challenge you to try to speak an intention. And it takes 5 minutes in the morning to say, today I intend to do 5 loads of laundry and make sure they're put away.
Exactly. Not even 5 minutes.
And so at that point, your mind is going to help you get to that goal.
Absolutely. So the whole episode has been a bundle of takeaways, but let's zone them in. One of the things that we said is that make sure whatever it is that you are setting for yourself, that it's really resonating for you, opposed to just the outer appearance of purchasing a car or a home or losing weight or things like that. And even though losing weight is still connected to you, but is that really the core of what it is that you want to transform or shift?
Right. So, very small, very direct tidbit for me is when other people start to cast their opinions of your progress, very simple response: this is my journey, thank you.
I like that.
This is my journey, thank you. Because, and so be ready, Sophia. And John, who's sitting to the left.
You gotta see John's
right?
face.
Because y'all don't see me with any coffee today, right? And I didn't quit at all. But it happens to me all the time. Every time I take a break or I say that I'm leaving coffee alone, as soon as somebody sees me with it, I thought you quit. This is my journey. Thank you. You know, so just back up off me, and you thank you, because that's acknowledging, you know, I appreciate it, but that's it.
Good stuff. This is my journey. Thank you. I feel like I show my ass in this month, because the inner teen just shows up. You would have thought I had terrible birthdays. I'm not sure why I'm so connected to birthdays, but I am probably going to use that a few times this month. Another takeaway is really, you know, spending some time in what acceptance could look like for you, where not so much just accepting, oh, okay, I'm accepting this is the job that I have right now in my life. Really accepting some tougher things that is hard, like trauma. You know, once people are doing trauma work, the last bit is the acceptance piece, because it's at the end opposed to the beginning, because you don't want someone to feel that you're just saying, just let it go, you know, kind of thing. And that's not the notion for it. But in order to truly embrace all of you means that you have to accept what has happened to you, because if not, this is the notion that you're saying to mind. This is the notion you're saying to self. I'm good except for that molestation. I'm good except for my father not being in my life. I'm good except for that divorce. You know, so it's like the mind doesn't resonate with part of me is good and some of me is bad. It just doesn't.
Right.
The bad is going to win. And doesn't mean that the good doesn't show up at times, but it's going to win. It's kind of like love and hate.
Yeah.
It just can't. It just can't both go together. So when I say accepting those tough areas, that's the only way that you really embrace and love all of you, if you accept even the fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Because what I'm saying is all of me is good, which goes to the issue for me about new year, new me. What that's saying to me is that last year I wasn't good. So now I have to do a new me.
Right.
And that's not what I want to say to me. I don't want to say that. I want to shift some things. I want to transmute, transform. I want to shift some things. But new me says, I don't fucking want this me.
And even as we, maybe, you know, we started out this episode with let's just get rid of the new year, new me.
Yeah.
Let's replace that with new day, better me.
Yes. Come on, hit something. Woo! Yeah, I tell you, we got this sound shit, but we make our own sound effects, and I'm not even sure what we have it. But I like that. New day, better me.
Right. And so, and what that does is that doesn't put you, because new year is so big.
It is.
A year is 365 days.
Which will go by fast, but still so big.
But you're not, like, that's weird, right? But new day, better me means that today, my better may equal 1 coffee as opposed to 2.
Yes.
A better me may say, oh, well, I'm going to not cuss for an hour. Right?
Yeah.
You know, it does, or better, new day, better me might mean, you know what? I'm meal prepping, because that's big. You know, meal prepping is not easy and not an easy thing to do. But you get to define what better means.
Yes.
And nobody else can define it for you.
It's gentle.
Right.
It's gentle. You just do not throw a seed on the concrete and say grow.
Right.
You know, you got to put it in